What is going on, everybody? How are you doing tonight? It is Tuesday, and you know what that means? It means it's Tuesday, and we're still in the beginning of the week. No, that means it's still conspiracy tonight, and I am so happy my partner in crime is back to keep me in line. You see her right there. That is Miss Adelia. How you doing, Miss Adelia? How you feeling today? You took what? It was a week or 2 weeks off? I don't remember.
2 weeks.
2 weeks
It was
off.
2 weeks. I was very sick, but feeling better. And yeah, happy to be here.
I am glad you are feeling better. Make sure to reach out to HR and get your sick pay. I don't know if that's coming out of my pocket, but we'll figure it out. But
There,
reach out to
there,
HR.
there's none of that. No.
You would just reach out to yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
uh,
mean,
but but I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're feeling better. I know you were in the background when we did last week's show, and you hung out, but you needed some time off, and I appreciate it because you are hardworking doing. I don't know why I'm messing with everything now, but you're hardworking, and everybody needs some time off. So I'm glad you got some time off, got to relax and uh, watch me, make a fool of myself as usual. But I am glad you're back, and I am glad you're here. It was kind of weird not having you here, to be honest with you.
yeah. It was
You
weird
know,
not being on the show, but being backstage for the show it was weird.
yeah. But we are back. We're going to be talking some Steelers. We're going to be talking some Broncos. We're going to be talking some NFL power rankings. We're going to also be talking about Mark Sanchez. I don't know what the hell is going on with him. That is just wild. Uh, Joe Flacco got traded. We'll talk about that. And then we'll also talk some. We'll do some Week 6 pick'ems, and also gonna be talking about some MLB, some playoffs. But before we get to all that, Mr. D, let people know where they can find all the links, everything about our channel, all the other channels, donations, all that good stuff. Where can they find all that information at?
You can find it all at letsgetreadynetwork.com. We have a Ko-fi page. We have a Patreon page. You can always buy us a coffee. Links to those are on the website, as well as links to our Cash App and our Venmo. Any and all donations that come our way go right back into the channel. So we really appreciate those of you who have chosen to what we're doing here at LGRN and Good Friends Better Rivals. And yeah, that's where you can find it all. The website for posts is not updated because I was really sick, but it will be.
Yeah, yeah. Give her some time. She had a good reason. She's not like me who just calls in sick for no reason. But you
No,
know,
I was really very sick.
yeah, it was very very unfortunate. But I'm glad you're feeling better. Um,
My camera's out of focus. There
I
we
hate
go.
when it doesn't. Don't you hate when it does that?
Yeah.
And like it never does it when you like don't
When
like
you
when you're
aren't
just
online,
chilling.
but as soon as
Yeah,
the show starts, it goes out of focus. Yeah.
yeah, and like all the technical stuff just goes on. Um, so yeah, let's get into the Broncos deal because your team actually played this week. Uh, it was a pretty big game because it was against the at that time one of the undefeateds uh, of left between the Bills and the Eagles, and you were playing the Eagles. Like you said, you were down 14 points at the start of the fourth quarter. Uh, Looking at the stats, Bo Nix, pretty decent game. Still throwing a lot of passes, but
He threw a lot of passes. Yeah.
242 yards, one touchdown. J.K. Dobbins 79 yards with the touchdown. Not very other people running the ball. Sutton had 99 yards, but no touchdowns. That always sucks when you have like 100 yards or close to 100 yards and you don't get
Yeah.
a touchdown.
Yeah.
Uh, the Eagles, and I'm looking at the Eagles and I'm saying to myself, okay, Jalen Hurts threw the ball 38 times. That's actually he's not a big thrower. Their offense doesn't depend on him. Who they depend on is Saquon Barkley, and he only has 6 rushes for 30 yards.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith
He
had eight receptions for 114 yards,
Yeah.
but
Saquon did have a 47-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts. Uh, but
yes, but as far as running the ball,
they didn't run the ball with him very much. I didn't understand that really. Um, but yeah, this was a big win for the Broncos. I think only you and I thought the Broncos might be able to pull this off. Um, we were down 17-3 at the start of the fourth quarter, and they flash up this stat on CBS that says the Broncos, when they're down 14 or more points at the start of the fourth quarter in their history, were 1 and 112.
So
I
now
was
they're
like,
two
well,
in
this
the.
is over. So now they're 2 and 112. I was like, oh, this is over. There's just no way. Um, but I was very proud of them for turning this around in the fourth quarter. They scored 3 points in the first three quarters,
Yeah.
and that 3 points was in the first quarter. So the offense was just doing nothing, and I did not expect this. And so for them to come out in the fourth quarter, they get a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Then Evan Ingram, of all people, scores a touchdown. And then they went for two. And I was like, why are you going for two? Just tie the game with an extra point. But they were successful with the 2 point conversion. They got down there, got another Will Lutz field goal with 1:11 left, and then the Eagles ran out of time.
Yeah, I mean, you scored 18 points in the fourth quarter. That's
Yeah.
got to feel pretty good. But you're like, what did you do for the first three quarters? Could you
Yeah.
have done anything? Like, you showed that you could do something, and then for the first three quarters, you did nothing. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, they came back and beat the Eagles with that fourth quarter comeback. I like what I saw from
Hi,
the
Jeremy.
Broncos. Um, I think right now you got the running game is you're over 100 yards per game, but between Dobbins, Nicks, and a couple other sprinkled in
Yeah.
people,
I
you're
really
over 100
expected,
yards.
and at the start of the season, I really thought they'd go with RJ Harvey as like their number one back. And J.K. Dobbins would be like the third down guy, but they've really gone with Dobbins, and he's done very well. Um, I know that a lot of people have a lot of opinions on J.K. Dobbins from his years as a Raven and other things, but I'm quite happy with his performance so far this season. For some reason, we're also using Marvin Mims as a a running back type play every once in a while. But he gained 9 yards on his one rush, so I can't complain about that either. Just I was really impressed with Bo Nix's poise in that fourth quarter, because it's only his second season. This is the defending Super Bowl champions. You're in Philly, the crowd's loud. Like, there was a lot working against the Broncos, and they just got it done.
Yeah, I mean, and also too that defense is actually pretty good. So
Defense was really good.
so for him to play the way he did, and you're kind of rewarded with this win because you could have been 2-3, but now you're 3-2, and now you have both New York teams. Both are bad, so that
Yeah.
that should be any given
Yeah,
Sunday, but that should be.
we've got the Jets in London this weekend,
Mm,
and then we come back and play the Giants.
yep,
Probably in Denver or New York. I don't remember.
it's in Denver,
But
and then you got the Texans in Texas, Houston. Then you got the Raiders, then the Chiefs, Commanders, Raiders. So
so
I
until the
mean,
Chiefs, it's actually a fairly favorable schedule.
yeah, I mean the Cowboys are a tough team, but
Yeah,
I think your defense can carry you. Texans, I mean, they just put 44 points on the Ravens, but I think
but
we all
the
we all
Ravens
we
don't
have a
have a
tough.
defense.
Yeah, they're frauds because
Yeah.
they're playing the same guys that they played last year. But everyone said, "Oh, they're a great defense." But we won't,
Mm-hmm.
we'll get into that some other time. But yeah, I mean, I could see you guys easily going, the next 5 games, 5-0, 4-1 is probably realistic, but 5 games, and that puts you at 7-2. And the way the Chiefs are playing right now, um, that's what you want. That's what
Yeah.
you want. To try to
I
build
was
that
I
lead.
I went to bed a very happy Broncos fan after the Monday night game ended the way it did last night.
Yeah, I mean, if you could go 4-1 or 5-0, get to the Chiefs game and beat them,
Yeah.
you're gonna put yourself in a position to win this AFC North that's been, or sorry, AFC West that's been dominated by the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, especially with the young quarterback, this that builds him up. So I think. you're really in a good spot. Looking forward toward the Jets game. I mean, it's the Jets. I
It's the
mean,
Jets, but it's London. You never know what's gonna
you never
happen
know,
in a
but
London game.
the Jets. It's crazy because they got Fields, they have Garrett Wilson, they have Brandon Allen, they have a really good defense, and they just
Yeah,
don't know what's going on. Is it the head coach? The head coach is new, so it's not like you can be like it's a head coach.
yeah. I
So
don't. I don't
they're
know
in a
what to make
they're
of
in a
the
weird
Jets.
position. Yeah, they're in a weird
Yeah,
position. Um, and you're looking at this game, and I mean, again, you said it's in London, but you should win this game. Obviously any game's a trap game, but this is probably a trap game that you guys should win and should be
yeah,
prepared
and
for.
like a letdown coming off of a big win like this. That those are trap games too. So we'll see. We'll see how
Yeah,
prepared they are. They're playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which,
not
as
Wimbledon, or
everyone,
was it with
no,
Wilmington?
not Wembley. No,
No, Wembley.
Wimbledon's the tennis facility. Wembley is the stadium where they used to play the NFL games. Now they play them at
Oh, okay,
Tottenham
okay, okay.
Hotspur Stadium. It's in North London. Tottenham Hotspur, the arch rivals of my Arsenal. So I hate that they're going there, but yeah, I don't know if I'll be awake for this game, or at least the start of this game, but we'll figure out a way to watch it.
Yeah, I woke up for the Steeler game when they played the Vikings at 6 in the morning. I was just like, oh,
At least for me, it's like 9:30, but still, that's early on a Sunday.
yeah, it was early. Every day I'm up at 5, so I'm
Yeah,
up early anyway. But realistically, with these next 5 games, like I said, Jets, Giants, Cowboys, Texans, Raiders. How are you feeling? Do you feel like they can go 5-0, 4-1, or
I think it's very favorable. The Raiders game, you just never know because the kind of hatred between those two teams, you know, throughout the years. I mean, I grew up a Broncos fan, and I knew the one thing you knew about being a Broncos fan is you hate the Raiders. So I mean, that's just a thing. That's always a tough game, even if the Raiders are terrible like they are. Um, the other teams, I think Houston is starting to turn it around, but again, they turned it around this weekend against a team that doesn't have a defense. So we'll see. But I think that they can do pretty pretty well in that stretch. Hey,
got you?
Brodney, how's it going?
Shout out to Bronny. How you doing, sir? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Yeah, I think the Broncos could go. I'm realistically putting them at 4-1. I feel maybe the Cowboy game could be a tough one for them, or the Texan game.
Yeah, but
Outside of it,
even the Cowboys are not
yeah,
that great.
they're not looking good, but it
Yeah.
can always be. It's always there's always trap games out there. I feel like if you could get past the Jets, um, with that early morning game, and it's not really early for us. It's normal time for
No,
them over there.
it's normal. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if you can get, obviously with jet lag, things like that, if you get that game, I think you'll run through the Broncos. Sorry, the Giants. I think Cowboys should be a good game, competitive. I think you guys should get there. Texans again, they're playing a non-defensive team, and it is in Houston, so that could be the trap game. And I think the Raiders are coming to your town. It looks like that's a Monday night game because it's 5:15. So is that a Monday night or a
Probably.
Thursday night? So
What day is it on?
November 6th.
That's a Thursday night game.
So that's a Thursday night game. So you have a short week between the Texan and Raider game, but it's in Denver, so I think you guys should get
I
it
think
going.
yeah, we should be fine.
And I think going to that Chiefs game, you have 10 days off after your Thursday night game. I think that's going to get you together. And then I think you're probably going. I think you go into your bye week because it shows it's 14 days later you play the Commanders. So
Yeah,
I'm assuming that's your bye week.
that sounds like when the bye week is. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got some tough games coming up after that. But yeah, I can definitely see the see the Broncos going 4-1. Going up 7-3. 8-2 is your best. That's pretty good. And like I said,
Yeah.
with the Chiefs playing the way they are, that puts you in a great position. And if you're able to beat the Chiefs, now you got a game up on them, and the tiebreaker. So I think you guys are in a really good spot. I just think Bo Nix needs to not throw the ball so much. They got to cut his
Yeah, and
throws down.
I think they had him throwing the ball because of the fact that we were so far behind at the start of the fourth quarter. I think that if we're in a more manageable situation where the offense is clicking a little better for the first three quarters, they don't have him throwing the ball so much. So
Yeah. Nope. Totally understand. Totally get it. All right, we're gonna move on to the Steelers. They were not playing this week. They got their bye week early, which I think is actually kind of a good thing. Um, Even though I like late buys, this kind of helps the Steelers recuperate. They went into the bye. They had some injuries. Jalen Ramsey was hurt. I don't know if he what's the status for this game. You had Highsmith. You had JPJ still not playing due to hamstring. So hopefully these last 2 weeks, because they played on early Sunday, got back in the United States, they had a week off. Hopefully that gave them time to uh, heal, and kind of get guys back. Um,
I
we
mean, you
didn't
guys
make
had an excellent bye week. Everyone else in your division lost.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good for us. That was the best hope, going into that week.
Yeah.
But I think as far as health, because this game, even though I think we should beat the Browns, my worrisome is our offensive line because of Miles Garrett and that defensive line. So I hope, you know, and I say this, and people are gonna trash me, but I want to make sure Aaron Rodgers makes it out of this game alive.
Yeah.
Because Miles Garrett is a absolute monster, and even though it's in Pittsburgh, it's still going to be a tough game. Division games are always tough for us. You know, they're only 1-4, but they're still going to play hard. We've seen how divisional games go, so I feel like the bye kind of helped us out here, getting healthy again. We need to work on some stuff. Our defense, total defense allowed is 382 yards, point 0.5 yards, and total and points 24.5. That puts us at 28th in the NFL as far as defensive yards and 20th in the NFL in points allowed.
Jeremy saying Gabriel, I guess that means Dylan Gabriel, looked pretty good against the good Vikings defense. The Browns just collapsed at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we look pretty decent against that Vikings defense. They really turned the ball over on us. I what I'm hoping for is our defense is able to pressure him, get turnovers, get shorten the field, get easy touchdowns, and um, as my dad calls me, get easy touchdowns and get turnovers, and make it a shortened field so that way Aaron doesn't have to drive the length of the field, not turn the ball over. Like that has to be his thing going into this week is just not turning the ball over because they're playing an
Yeah.
inexperienced QB. So you're going to be able to take advantage of that. Our defensive line, our defense. I don't know where we're at as far as takeaways. I'm going to look right now, but Steelers. Uh, uh, Steelers have been taking away the ball really good this year, and um, I don't know how. I don't know. Okay, it's not giving me what I want. I'll have to look later. But in the Patriots game, we got the ball 5 turnovers. Against Minnesota, we got a few. Um, in that Patriot game, let me tell you, it's looking really good, strong for us because we beat them and they've been tearing people up. They beat up on the Panthers, but I mean everybody beats up on the Panthers, and then they beat the Bills, who were the last unbeaten team, and so
Hmm.
that Patriots game looks really good for us. Um, so I feel like this game, us going into this game versus versus the Browns, we really need to lean on our defense to get turnovers. Um, I don't know where we are in the league, but like we have 5 fumble recoveries. Um, we have 5 interceptions. Sacks we have 14.
Hmm.
Like our defense. The problem is like I read, we're giving up yards. You're not gonna
Yeah.
give. You should not give up too many yards to the Browns. but
Yeah.
you have to make sure to get to the quarterback, get pressure, sack them, hit them, and turn the field for Aaron Rodgers and our our offense, because our offense right now, we're going to be missing Calvin Austin. We didn't do any kind of trading or anything like that. Um, and what Archer Smith has shown is running these packages with tight ends and using tight ends. I don't know if Warren's going to be back this week,
Mhm.
but he was injured, and Gainwell played pretty well, but I think with only having him, Caleb Johnson, you need to get Warren back because he helps in the passing game and the running game, and you need to really run the ball, slow down that pass defense of Myles Garrett, and then let Aaron uh, some get some touchdowns. Bronny is wishful thinking right now, saying Gabriel's about to wreck y'all. Sure, Bronny. I don't know what SCO is.
I don't know.
Snoochie Boochie? I don't know. But I feel
Never
like
say that again. Um, it looks like you guys are second in turnover differential at +7,
okay, that's a good thing.
behind Jacksonville, who has 8. So +8. Um, yeah, like I think you guys should be able to beat the Browns, but like you never know with the Browns, and the Browns are just the Browns.
The Browns are the Browns.
So okay, Bradley says it's let's go Ducks. Let's go Ducks. Okay.
I didn't know you were a Duck fan.
It sounds like Ferris, honestly. I already know
Yeah,
that.
it really does. Um, yeah, so we're going into this Browns game, and then kind of looking at the Steelers schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is tough for us because we go versus the Browns. We go against the Bengals, who now have Joe Flacco. That's a Thursday night game. But then we have, I believe this is either Sunday night. I believe it's a Sunday night game. The Packers, the Colts, the Chargers.
Oh, there
Those
you go.
are
Bradley's dad is from Oregon. He always roots for the Ducks.
no comment. Those are three tough games right there. And so I want to, if we can get through the Browns and the Bengals, that puts us at 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
6-3 sounds really good to me going into the Bengals and Bears games, and then next game after that is Bills, so we can get to 8-3. I would be happy with. But you got
Okay.
to take care of business against the Browns and the Bengals. Like you got to take care. I mean, we can maybe still win from the Packers. It is at home. After actually, both of these games are at home. So versus the Colts, versus the Packers are at home. So you can hope try to steal these games, depending how our offense looks against Browns and Bengals. And then we're at the Charger game, which sucks because it's in LA, but I'll be in Laughlin, so I won't. I can't even go to the game. So sad. Um,
Yeah.
and so I feel we're on a good path right now. It's getting that offense kind of figured out, and then with the running game, and then getting the defense to stop giving up so many yards. Like we just been getting cooked. And I was gonna say like, oh well, no, it's just teams are fighting back at the fourth quarter, and it's like no, it's happening consistently, but we're getting turnovers. So it's like, mm, I want to be not giving up these yards, but also want to get turnovers.
Yeah.
Um, so I think if we can continue to do that, I think we'll be fine. Uh, and we can, we can separate us from the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns in the AFC North, because right now the AFC North looks like it's just falling apart. One of the best divisions,
Yeah, it
not so
kind of
much this
does.
year. And
Yeah.
if the Ravens lose this game this weekend, to the Rams, they go to 1-5.
Yeah.
And and I don't want to get into Ravens because everyone claims you know I'm a Ravens fan, and I'm not. I keep saying this, but if the Ravens fall to 1-5, and I don't know what their buy is. I think their buy is that after that, right after that, I believe. But if they go to 1-5 and then go into the buy, I have a strong feeling that Lamar might sit out longer. He might not be playing against the Rams this week. and because of the injury he's having. But I think if
Mhm.
he coming off the bye, if the Ravens are one
Yeah,
and
their
five,
bye's week 7. So next week is the Raven. Not this week. They've got a game obviously, but next week is the
is their
Ravens'
bye.
bye.
Yeah, I think if they go into that bye 1 and 5, don't be surprised if we don't see Lamar for a couple of weeks. Past that. Um,
I've watched a lot of the Ravens this year.
I wonder
With
why. Why
my
have you watched
I
a lot
wonder
of
why.
Ravens?
Yeah. But I do feel for them because they had high expectations and it's
Oh,
just
you have
been
a heart.
not.
I don't.
I do have a heart, yeah. Well, you're a Steelers fan. I wouldn't expect you to not be enjoying this
I,
downfall of the Ravens this season, but it's been hard to watch Hendo's streams sometimes.
it's gonna make me sound so bad. It's been easy for me to watch his streams, to be honest with you.
And I know, as evidenced by the video you had Danny make.
Great, it's a great video.
It's a great
Um,
video. But yeah, uh, I think you guys should be able to handle the Browns.
yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I just my worrisome is that offensive line. We played okay. We're not playing great. We're not playing good. We're just playing okay. And if Miles Garrett decides to go kill Aaron Rodgers, some Steelers fans will
Yeah,
be
that's
happy,
that's that's a
but
possibility.
yeah.
Who
So I
is
want
your
to
backup quarterback?
someone the guy that Miles Garrett tried to kill with the helmet, Mason Rudolph.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I think I've heard Will Howard is might be coming back soon. But yeah, it's Mason Rudolph. So you know, I just don't want Aaron Rodgers to get killed. He's played well. I mean, he hasn't played. He hasn't had that. You know, signature game, but he's been playing. He's putting up yards. He's getting touchdowns.
Yeah.
The interceptions are not that high right now, and that's all we can
Mhm.
ask for. You have and it's crazy because you have DK Metcalf, who's just a freak. But then outside of that, like as far as receivers, like Roman Wilson hasn't shown anything. Scotty Miller hasn't shown anything. Calvin Austin was doing well, but he got hurt. Pat Fryermuth has just disappeared.
Yeah.
I like the guy, but I've been saying this in some Steelers threads and on Twitter. As much as I love Pat, and they paid him. I think he really got paid because Big Ben was, uh, you know, gassing him up on his podcast and you know
Oh, he has
gassing
a
him up.
podcast too.
Oh yeah, he's had it for him. Yeah,
Everybody has a podcast.
everybody has a podcast now. Yeah, it's called Footballing. It used to be like a beer tasting podcast, and then they would mix in football. Then they started bringing ex Steelers on and
Yeah.
everything like that. And then he started watching the games on Sunday Live. So it's like he does all kinds of stuff with it. But he really gassed up Pat Fryermuth, because he had played with Pat as a rookie, and so I think the Steelers, kind of drank the Kool Aid on him being gassed up, and they haven't used him. Smith, from who we traded for from Miami, better blocker, has caught the ball well. They've been playing him more. Darnell Washington, who I don't know if you watched Darnell Washington. The man is 6'7", almost 300 pounds. They say he's like 260 or 270, but he's 6'7". The guy is huge. I think he's 6'7". I don't know. I might be exaggerating. It might be 6'5". But the guy is huge and big body. And when you get down to the touchdown area, you just throw the ball to him, and he just walls off the defender, and they can't get around him because he's so big. And he's a great blocker because he's freaking huge. He looks like a lineman.
Google says he's 6'7".
Yeah, so he's 6'7". So I mean, Pat is just not getting playing time, and with with the injury of Calvin Austin, a lot of people are looking at him to get the ball more because Scotty Miller hasn't done what we thought he was going to do. Roman Wilson, same thing. Um, and so and Arthur Smith likes to use tight ends. So this might be an opportunity to kind of pull himself out of the slump and get him going. But we will see what happens. I don't know if we will.
Yeah.
This game. I'm really looking toward the defense to carry us. Um, but yeah, those are some previews of our games. real quick. Let's just we kind of forgot to put this in the notes. Let's just talk real quick about some of the games that happened this week. Um, you have the 49ers and the Rams game, which was very interesting. But Niners came out of there with the win. Uh, Vikings beat the Browns overseas. Uh, Cowboys beat the Jets. Saints, I did not expect that to happen. Beat the
I didn't
Giants.
either. And I'll tell you who
Uh,
definitely didn't. Ferris didn't.
yeah, I watched Ferris live stream. He just was very
He,
upset
yeah,
because then
very
the next
upset.
game, Colts and Raiders. Colts put a 40 against the Raiders, so
You
Ferris
really
is not
have to
happy.
start. Yeah, you really have to start asking, um, is Daniel Jones the problem, or is Brian Dayball and the Jets coaching staff the problem?
Giants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Giants coaching
yeah.
staff.
The Panthers got a win. Shout out to Brodney beating the Dolphins. Um, you had the Broncos get their win. Texans, very surprised, dropped 44 on the Ravens. And like you said, they don't have a defense, but by God, 44 points from a team that was really struggling.
Mm.
Mm,
Uh, they had. I when I heard that Adafe Owe got traded today, I was like, somebody go check on
yes,
Yolanda.
yes. Got traded. She tweeted about it. Joe Flacco got traded. There's some other things. There was a the trade was with the Chargers. They got a safety, I believe.
Yeah.
Gilman. I don't know if it's Gilman. No, Gilman was a trade or a sign. I don't know. I will have to look right now. Um, the Titans Cardinals game. A lot of drama coming out of this game. The running
Okay.
back for the Cardinals. What
Yeah, it
was
was
his
Ravens
name?
trade Owe to the Chargers for Gilman.
Um, Demer, Demercado.
Emery
Um, Emery,
DeMarcado.
yeah, Emery DeMarcado um, ran the ball, broke it open, and got into the touchdown and threw kind of let the ball out before he crossed the line. And there was even a situation. I guess the coach put hands on him, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I guess the coach apologized. I don't know if
I
Buck's
think
in
the
here.
coach got fined
Okay.
for doing that. I don't know how much or anything like that. Snark, my co-host on Starting 11, was telling me earlier that DeMarcado doing that cost him his fantasy football matchup in another league, not the LGR league, but another league, and he was not happy. So if Snark wasn't happy about that, I can only imagine how furious the coach was.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say, you never put your hands on a player.
Yeah.
So,
You never put your hands on a player, and I mean, and I don't know if we had talked about this or it was me and Brodney, but like you see people do it in high school, you see people do it in college. When you get to the
mhm,
pros, why aren't you just not waiting to do your celebration until you're actually in the middle of the end zone?
yeah. Um,
Like,
I don't know why anybody does that. Let's see. It looks like the Cardinals fined Jonathan Gannon $100,000 for doing
damn,
the
100,000.
altercation with DeMarcado. Yeah. Jeremy saying he says this is Cardinals getting the pick that led to a fumble and then to a TD is pure comedic football at its finest.
Yeah, Buck hit me up today and said, I'm surprised you're not trolling me." I said, "I'm trying to put good juju out there for my team that's in the playoffs right now because I wanna put good juju out there.
Hmm.
So I have not been trolling him, uh, but we'll see what
Jeremy also
happens.
says he wasn't surprised the Texans won. He was shocked by the score. I kind of agree with that.
I was surprised they won because they hadn't played well. You had the Ravens who have been putting up numbers and
Yeah,
that's
but
kind of show.
numbers with Lamar. This is Cooper Rush.
Yeah, but if you're the point of a backup, Adela, if your starting quarterback is putting up numbers with that team, your backup should be able to come in and at least
Right. But the Ravens made the decision to have their backup to Lamar Jackson be Cooper Rush.
I mean, Cooper Rush played fine for Dallas. Shot it. Where's Caleb? Caleb will tell you he played pretty decent for Dallas.
That's Dallas. That offense in Baltimore is so tailored to Lamar that I don't see how Cooper
And
Rush
and,
was
and
ever
Bronny
going to
says,
get them.
the Ravens suck without Lamar. So then why do I hear Ravens fans talk about Bateman,
Yeah,
talk
they're not a good
about
team.
Flowers, talk about Andrews, talking about obviously Derrick Henry. Like, yeah, Derrick Henry's great, but like,
Derrick Henry's great, but he's like fumbling the ball this year. Like they're all not playing well.
and
But I know you do.
I love it. But like Derrick Henry isn't a scrub. Like, and I get he's fumbling, but at the same time, you got to give him the ball. If
Yeah.
you're trying to, like, that guy had 100 and something yards in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
Rodney at the point they can't block. The offensive line is terrible, and they can't play defense. He also says your time will come, Sugarton. We'll bring this up right now too. Jeremy bringing up Jerry Jones flipping off the Jets and getting fined 250K. Oh no, he's gonna go bankrupt. Yeah, that was
I wish they give me 250K. I wish he flipped
yeah.
me off so I could sue, him, Fox, because I don't know who the Cowboys go
I
through, but
will
yeah,
Yeah. I will say this about fines and stuff like that. Like fining someone $250,000 for flipping off fans doesn't do much for the billionaire owner of the Dallas Cowboys. But at least these fines are in the hundreds of thousands. You go to the NHL and like you can cross-check someone really bad and put them out for several weeks and you get a $5,000 fine. Like it's ridiculous. So,
did you see what Caitlin Clark got fined for tweeting about the officiating for the
no.
WNBA? two hundred
No.
dollars.
Well, yeah, because they can't fine them that much because they don't pay them that much.
$200 a fine you and me pay.
Yeah, yeah. It's
uh,
just there's ridiculous fines in other sports. I'm just glad that this won't make a dent in Jerry's pocketbook, but at least it is something.
yeah, and Cardinals just blew that game up, just blew that game away. Um, Titans beating them, getting their first win of the year, 22-21. Buccaneers getting a nice win versus the Seahawks. Um, Lions beating the Bengals. Commanders beating the Chargers. That was very surprising. Like I said earlier, Patriots.
I don't think the Commanders beating the Chargers was that surprising because wasn't Jaden Daniels back?
I didn't watch the game. Yes, he was. I mean, Chargers have a decent team, but well, whoever had uh, the Commanders running back, my God, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Debo Samuel had 1 touchdown for 96 yards.
Yeah.
That defense got scorched.
Mhm.
Um, Patriots beat the Bills. Bills were the last undefeated team. And then the Jaguars beat the Chiefs last night on some crazy play. It was some crazy stuff going on in the
There was
NFL,
some
but
crazy stuff going on, yeah.
you know, Trevor Lawrence fell, got stepped on, and then got up and ran for a touchdown with no
Yeah,
timeouts left.
his center or guard or whoever it was stepped on his foot. He fell. He got up and dove for the end zone and won. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, like we
Very
said,
happy about that.
yeah, we need you. You want the Chiefs to lose. Um, we'll talk some. Let's talk some NFL news. Um, or try and just go over some NFL news. I think you
We
have that
just
up
went over.
already.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just went over some.
Well, I want to talk about the Mark Sanchez kind of
Yeah.
situation, which was crazy because you and me were actually uh, together when this came up, and
Yeah, we were
you
in
know
voice chat in our Discord. You can join the Discord by clicking the link in the description below, or if you're watching on Twitch, it's ! Discord. Click the
now
link.
I'm sure LBHT is going to talk about this. Cliff notes, something happened. Mark Sanchez was drunk. He approached the truck. I don't know, something happened. You said that he lunged at the guy. The guy fell for his life, stabbed him a couple times, and then Mark just took off. They have video of Mark walking bleeding down the street. It's kind of crazy. Whatever happened, I will not say, the truck driver didn't have a right to defend himself, but you didn't need to stab him more than once. So I'm kind of
I
iffy
mean,
about that.
it depends on how aggressive Mark Sanchez was being in that moment.
Yeah, but you're
Like,
stabbing somebody. You're like, if you shot somebody, like You don't,
Yeah,
if you're like
I know,
being,
but like let's be real. If somebody was drunk and aggressive and coming at me and I feared for my life and I had a knife, I probably wouldn't just stab them once cuz that's probably not going to do anything to stop them until, you stab them a couple of times.
I could just imagine
Sorry.
it. I could just imagine Delia just going, "Don't mess with me. Don't mess."
No, no, absolutely not. I would not be doing that. I would be terrified.
Well, you just said
But
if they came at you, you would stab them. So I'm
if
like, I could
I
just picture you.
if
Just,
if someone is drunk and aggressive and right in my face and had already like shoved me to the ground and hit, yeah,
yeah. No, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying, like, I don't know. It's just to me, if you're trying to stop a guy from going after you, I get it. And also, Mark Sanchez is a football player, so he's huge.
yeah.
But what we were talking about in the voice chat was this guy trying is suing Mark Sanchez,
Suing Mark Sanchez and suing Fox.
which we think is
I just
ludicrous.
I just think he's there in Indianapolis to do a job for Fox, but he's not on the clock at that moment. And so I don't think you can sue Fox for
Well,
this.
but you had read a statement. I forgot what you had read. But about the victim, or I don't know if he's the victim, but the person that got technically he's the victim right now,
Yeah.
saying that he I forgot what the statement was you read. It was good.
I'll find it again.
It was really ridiculous because and we're gonna find out more. Kind of reading um what happened. The man was 69 years old. He's only 5'8", but it's crazy because they're bringing up his height and weight. He's like he's 5'8", and Mark Sanchez is 6'2". Um, over a parking dispute. I think it was over. My client was victim of a violent attack. Um, I'm assuming he parked somewhere he wasn't supposed to park.
Well,
Guy was gonna get towed, and then
yeah.
he went at the guy and was like, "Yo, leave my car," which
Yeah.
people have done.
So here's what this says. The prosecutor told reporters that we are literally talking about people fighting over a parking space and or a dispute about where people are parking, and it resulted in someone receiving just incredibly significant injuries. Um, let's see, where's this statement here from the lawsuit? Okay. The truck driver says that he has sustained severe permanent disfigurement, loss of function, other physical injuries, emotional distress, and other damages due to Sanchez's alleged actions. He says that Fox should have known about Sanchez's unfitness as an employee, propensity for drinking and/or harmful conduct, and he says it failed to supervise him in a capacity as an employee. Fox declined to comment on the lawsuit. Um,
Well, they're gonna pay him out because they're just gonna
yeah,
want to get rid of it.
they're gonna
But
have
that
to.
is ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
a job is not supposed to be responsible for what you do on your off time.
yeah,
Okay, and if you are an idiot and you cause problems, sure they can fire you, but they're not responsible. Like, and I think that's total
yeah.
disfigurement. Okay,
His severe
I'm
permanent disfigurement is due to a cut to his left cheek.
that's stupid. That's dumb. Oh, because I have a
It
scar.
de-
I'm
it
disfigured now. Come
depends
on.
on how bad the cut is, I will say,
If
but
it's over
yes,
your eye or something like it's if it's
it's a scar on his
here.
cheek. I mean, if it's really big or something, I could see that,
Okay,
but
let me go sue half the scars on my hand from getting stabbed or on my arm from playing sport. Like, come on, that's dumb. Like,
yeah,
I get you and me. I think you, me, and Ryan were talking about this. You want to sue Mark Sanchez? Sue him for whatever you can get from him. You're more than welcome to. That's
yeah,
he's an idiot. He should, shouldn't have got himself in a situation.
yeah.
Should learn to walk away. That's fine. But you're
So,
and a lot of this is a lawyer because I've dealt
mhm,
with lawyers and I've sued a company
mhm,
and they tell you to say these certain things um, and to get more money and things like that. So it's
yeah,
understandable.
yeah.
But if I'm Fox, I'm
It's
getting our part thrown out.
but like again, they said that the prosecutor said that it became clear after investigators learned more about the truck driver's medical condition that the more serious charge of felony battery with serious bodily injury was needed. So Sanchez is now charged with a felony as well as all the misdemeanors of like public intoxication and all of that he got into it. Charged with on Sunday. On Monday they charged him with the felony battery charge, and the investigation is still ongoing and additional charges are possible. They declined to say whether the truck driver would face any charges, but noted that Indiana has some of the most robust self-defense laws in the nation.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I and it says here that he stabbed him in the chest. I think if you stab him in the chest, you don't need to stab him a few more times. But
Yeah,
and if
heard
he is a
upper right torso
yeah,
is what
and
this
he is a
says.
truck driver. I've dealt with truck drivers; they get messed with a lot, so it's
They do,
understandable
yeah.
why they carry a knife and things like that.
Yeah.
Thank God it wasn't a gun. Mark Sanchez, thank God it wasn't a gun because he could have got
Yeah.
shot. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, should like this Mark Sanchez situation kind of brings up the talk of like um, broadcasters, ex NFL players or ex athletes becoming broadcasters, and then their decisions outside of it to get them in trouble. Um,
Yeah.
I'm assuming Fox is probably going to fire him because of this
I
or
would
let
think
him
they
go.
have to.
Yeah. Because we have seen other athletes for less get let go. Um, is this
Yeah.
a reason to stop hiring athletes as analysts for different sports?
I don't think so. I think you just have to be selective about who you choose. I mean, if Fox knew that Sanchez has a drinking problem or whatever might be the case, that's a little different than him just
Well,
going to a place and getting drunk on Saturday night and this happening.
Well,
So,
he did play for USC, who's
mhm.
notorious for partying. Also, too, there. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't remember the name. Ferris would know this off the back of him, but there's a documentary about this guy that played for USC. And I don't know if he was there when Mark Sanchez had played, but he was there with Matt Leinart. So I'm
Okay.
trying to remember if Sanchez was right behind that. But this guy was like a drug dealer for the cartel, and he said literally says in an interview, he goes, "Yeah, all the football players were either on steroids or I was getting them drugs, um, and so
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. So I wouldn't put it past Mark Sanchez to be a heavy partier." Um, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can be responsible for somebody what they do on the weekend, even though it's a he was there because of them
Yeah.
outside of a job company should be responsible for you.
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, and the case is he's known and he's on TV, so that it's
Yeah.
we know why he's there. But if that was the case, and just say regular Joe Smo gets drunk, acts stupid, then companies would have to be firing their employees left
Steve
and right.
Weezy coming through with Cocaine Quarterback is
There
the
it
name of the
is.
documentary.
Yeah. So
Matt
go ahead.
Leinart was in the 2006 NFL draft. Mark Sanchez in the 2009 NFL draft. So,
So he was probably around the campus when this was
yeah.
going on. But you know, the guy I understand suing Sanchez, things like that, but and again, lawyers are going to try to get the most money out.
Yeah. Like
So
Jeremy says, though, Fox isn't responsible if one of their employees gets drunk before a game. He's responsible for his own actions. Exactly. I agree with that. And then he also says it's not an athlete's problem, it's just a mistake of a human being, which you can't always predict. Also true. I think you're right that a lawyer is like, let's also sue the company that should have known that Mark Sanchez could have done this to you, because that's a lawyer thing to do. So,
yeah, no, definitely they're trying to get the most money out. I mean, the guy's set for life now. Like
yeah,
he's set for life. It's
yeah.
just how much can I get?
The felony battery charge that Sanchez is facing carries a potential sentence of 1 to 6 years in prison.
He won't do that.
No,
He'll do house
but
arrest for about a year.
I don't know if he'd do house arrest. I mean, It's Indiana. I don't think he lives in Indiana.
No,
So
he would have to do probably house arrest where he lives and have to check in. Like
I
everything's
don't
virtual
I
now.
don't think that I don't think they do house arrest. But Jeremy's saying I'm just imagining being the other broadcaster for this game being like, what the fuck, Mark? The other broadcaster for this game was Chris Myers, who said on air that he wanted to send thoughts and prayers to Sanchez and everyone involved in the incident. Good old thoughts and prayers again.
You know that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah. Brady Quinn filled in for him on the broadcast.
Ew, a Notre
Yeah,
Dame guy. Ew.
yeah.
Shout out to Brady Quinn
I imagine Brady Quinn will fill in for him going forward
for probably
because
yeah.
I can't imagine Mark Sanchez ever works for Fox again.
No, or ever working broadcasting again. I think
I
he's
don't
probably
think.
done.
Yeah, and I think his career's probably done.
Yeah, but he could take all the money he made from the butt fumble. I mean, can you imagine being this guy? He's known for the butt fumble.
Yeah.
He's known for this now. Like, poor, e tough career. All right, let's get into week 6 pick'ems.
Hey.
Lovely pick'em sheet, and we'll start off with the Thursday night game. Tough game for Ferris. Philadelphia going into New York. Adelia, I don't see New York pulling it out,
I don't see
but
New
you
York
never know.
pulling it out either, but Philadelphia has not been the Philadelphia of last year. This year, I
Very
mean,
true.
even though they started out 2-2 last year and it wasn't working great, they look disjointed and not great. And I didn't realize it all that much until we played them this past weekend. But yeah, I don't know how they were undefeated with the way that they were playing. I mean, it just they'll beat the Giants because they're the Giants. But yeah,
Yeah, I got Philly in this one. Denver versus New York. Obviously, I know you're taking Denver. I am also going
yep,
to take Denver. We don't even have to discuss this one.
yeah.
Um, but
Jeremy's saying the Eagles, but it is in MetLife. I don't think that matters right now. The Giants are just they look better with Jackson Dart than they did with Russell Wilson, to a certain
no,
extent, but they're still the Giants, and they don't look great, and they lost their top wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. So
that sucks. LA Rams versus Baltimore.
I'm going the Rams.
Yeah. If this defense had showed up last week and they lost by a touch, like a field goal touchdown, I would have took Baltimore, but Baltimore got smashed and ran. What do you think? Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams, Matt Stafford, they're about to eat them
Baltimore's
up.
defense just can't stop anybody. I mean, with Lamar in there, they had a chance of maybe putting up enough points to keep pace with how bad the defense was at letting the other team score points. But I don't think Lamar's playing again this week, and yeah, I'll go with the Rams.
Dallas going into Carolina. Carolina looked pretty good last week. Got a win. Who do you got?
Dallas doesn't have a defense either. And I don't know what to make of Carolina. I haven't seen either of these teams play yet this season. I'll pick Carolina because they're at home, but it could be Dallas.
I'm going to take Dallas. A lot of people are talking about the trade for Pickens and how who's won it so far, and we haven't got the pick that we got for him. We haven't picked, so we can't really say Pickens has played decent. Had a, he's played decent games, but I'm still not impressed. I'll take Dallas. I got Dallas.
Uh,
Arizona and Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, Cardinals. How do you lose to the Titans? Good lord. Indianapolis gonna crush them. This is a good game. Seattle versus Jacksonville.
It does seem like that'll be a good game. Kind of got to go Jacksonville after Monday night.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville has found their swagger. I think Jacksonville is gonna be take this game. LA Chargers versus Miami.
Chargers.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
taking it.
I feel for my former classmate with the way things are going in Miami this year. But Chargers should win that game pretty easily, I think.
Chargers should win that game, and if they fire Mike McDonald, right? If they
Mike
fire
McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel, if they fire him, Pittsburgh should pick him up as our offensive coordinator. get rid of Arthur Smith.
I think he's a better offensive coordinator than he is a head coach.
We got Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers. New England, the battle of the news. New England versus New Orleans.
I'll go New England. I thought they were pretty impressive in beating the Bills on Sunday Night Football. So
Yeah, I'm gonna take New England because New Orleans, even though they got a win,
they're
not that
still
good.
not good.
This one is battle of who's gonna go to sleep first. Tennessee at Las Vegas.
I am picking Vegas only because their quarterback's not a rookie. I just don't think Cam Ward is settled in very well yet, and Tennessee's terrible. Vegas is terrible, but I'll take Vegas.
I think because they got this win last week. I think Tennessee's gonna come out and play pretty good. I'm taking Tennessee.
Okay.
Cincinnati at New Green Bay.
Bengals probably will have Joe Flacco under center. So I'll take Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay, definitely. San Francisco at Tampa Bay.
This should be a pretty good game too. I will take Tampa Bay though.
Tampa Bay's look real well. Baker Mayfield is in talks of the MVP. He's been playing real good. The rookie wide receiver has been playing well.
It's
I'm
way
gonna
too
take
early
Tampa.
to talk about the MVP. That's all.
It's never too early to talk MVP. We can talk
It's
MVP.
very early to talk about the MVP. Detroit and Kansas City. Give me Detroit.
Yeah, I think Kansas City is going down hard right now.
They're not the same. They might be totally different after they get Rice back, but right now, give me Detroit.
Buffalo at Atlanta.
Hello.
Atlanta has some time off. They have really good players, but for some reason they can't put it together. I'm gonna take Buffalo.
Yeah.
And Chicago at Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, Caleb Williams is not look good. I'm gonna take Washington.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, those dogs get loud. Let's see. Jeremy saying Cowboys will get revenge on Rico Dowdle. Joe Flacco versus the Packers again. Yeah, Joe Flacco versus the Packers again. Also saying Puka Nakua is gonna go off.
I hope so. I need to get a win in my fantasy on the fantasy team because I've been getting killed. Last week I had 3 zeros, plus I had an empty spot. Yeah, because 3 of my guys were on 2 of my guys were on Atlanta, 2 of my other guys were on a bye. So
I was very similar. I had a bunch of players on a bye last week, and then I had players out, and it just congratulations, Derek.
Yeah, Adam Thielen did do nothing for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into some SDV talk, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay. Oh, that soothing music.
Right, so good. I don't know how much. I know you Colorado Rockies haven't done much, so you
saying the Colorado Rockies haven't done much is a vast understatement. They've done nothing.
They've done
Not
nothing.
Understatement, overstatement. They have done absolutely nothing. They are atrocious. I want the Montforts who own them to get the hell out of Denver and sell the team. But it's not going to happen, so I'm just expecting another horrible year like this next year.
So, before we, let's talk about that. When you own a team, is it your responsibility to put money to spend to make the team competitive, or just spend to keep them afloat? How do you feel about that as a fan?
I think you want to spend money. This music is way too loud again. I think you have a, sorry, you guys are going to see this for a moment, maybe, because I'm going to turn the music down.
Yeah, that's loud.
It's way too loud. Okay. There we go. I think the owner's responsibility is to invest enough money in your business to make it a competitive and viable business. The problem is that because of all the money they get in the Major League Baseball from the TV contracts and everything, they don't have to spend that much money to make money, so they're happy. The Montforts just want to make money out of this. They don't care about the team being any good. They tried to spend a little bit of money when they signed Chris Bryant to that $100 million deal, and that's been a disaster. So we had 4 pitchers named today by Sports Illustrated among the 7 worst in baseball. They just don't spend the money where it needs to be spent. I get it. People don't necessarily enjoy coming to Denver. The altitude's a thing. I know people are like, oh, it's not that bad. It's really that bad for people who come there. You feel like your lungs are on fire until you get used to it. It's not fun. It's hard to pitch in Coors Field, stuff like that. They fired the GM. Of course they did. They need a manager. It's all awful.
Yeah. I mean, being a Dodger fan, years when we had this great farm system and we had got Clinton Kershaw, Matt Kemp, Russell Martin, Andre Ethier, that were all homegrown, and then we brought in Ramirez at one point, got us into the playoffs, but then Puig was homegrown but we kept losing, and then finally, the McCourts weren't really spending. They were spending a little bit of money, but not too much. Then we got this new ownership, and we were winning, but we weren't getting to the World Series, or we get to the World Series lose. And they said, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna start bringing guys in. They brought in Mookie. We won a title. They brought in Freddie Freeman. Buck will argue with me because the Diamondbacks did put the Dodgers out of the playoffs. But then the next year they said, okay, next year we're gonna go get the guy that's an NL MVP, bring him over here who also pitches, and we're gonna go win the World Series without him pitching, and we're gonna get more. Then next year we're gonna sign one of the best pitchers ever, best pitchers, bring them over because we didn't have a lot of pitching last year. So now we're gonna bring some pitchers over, and we're gonna try and win another World Series. We dealt with I won't say cheap because I think there's been way cheaper owners in LA. I mean, outside of LA, but we dealt with cheap owners, and then we dealt with, hey, build your team from the farm system, because that's hanging out with Buck, hanging out with Arizona Diamondback fans. They talk about, oh, you should be building your team out the farm system, maybe trades, things like that. And it's like, we did that, and we weren't getting over the hump. Like Matt Kemp, Clayton Kershaw, like people kill Clayton Kershaw. He is a Hall of Famer pitcher. He won an NL MVP, Cy Youngs, 3,000 strikeouts, 300 wins. This guy's a Hall of Famer. All they talk about is postseason and how he choked. And, we had a farm system, and we kept homegrown guys to try to win titles, and we weren't doing it. So you know what? They said, what we're going to do? We're going to bring these guys over here. And if you watch, like, Mookie Betts has a podcast. Like you said, everybody has a podcast. And he talks about it. He says, I came to the Dodgers, and it's more exhausting because we have to win. Like, you can go out, like, Colorado Rockies, they can go out and just play baseball. Whether they're good or bad, they just go play baseball, and that's it. The Dodger players have to win. And it's put a lot of pressure on them. And you have a guy like Ohtani, went 50-50 last year, won the NL MVP. Now he's pitching this year. He hit 50 home runs again. He's looked incredible. And let me just say this, Adelia. I don't ever want to hear about Babe Ruth. Ohtani blows him out of the water. Like, Babe Ruth might have been a great player.
It's a completely different game now than it was back then. Yeah.
But
Yeah. The Colorado Rockies this year, just for the record, finished 5th in the National League West. Of course they did. They were 43-119. Of those 43 wins, 25 of them were at home and 18 of them were on the road. They finished the season on a 2-8 stretch in their last 10 games, and they were 50 games back of the Dodgers in the division. They were the worst team in baseball by 17 games. The White Sox won 17 more games than they did.
Wow.
It's atrocious. They're getting some high draft picks because of this, but who knows what's going to happen with those. And yeah. Derek saying the owners are not required to put money into a team. Look at the Pirates. That's very true.
Yeah, but I'll say this before you move on to the next thing. They don't put money into the Pirates, but they have stars there. You know, Paul Skeets. It's a great pitcher. They have young talent there. If they put they're trying to win with young talent, and it's hard to do that. And I think if they put a little bit of money, and you're right, Derek, they're not required to. But damn, if you own a team,
they put more money into it than the Rockies do. I'll tell you that.
That's
they were
true.
also 28 games better than the Rockies this year.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, but it's like if you're an owner and you buy a team, like that's the point. I get it, you're making money, and the thing is, with the TV deals and all that, you're still getting your money in. But like, dang, don't you want to be competitive? Like, don't you want to try to make it to the playoffs? Even if it's a wild card, have a wild card game at your stadium.
I mean, playoffs in Colorado used to be so much fun. They called it Rocktober. We only made it to the World Series once, and I believe we got swept by the Red Sox in that World Series. But you know what? I'll remember that playoff run to the World Series probably for the rest of my life. And now it's this. And it's because the owners just do not give a shit. They just don't care. They're going to make their money, even though nobody goes to the games anymore. I believe their biggest attendance this season was when they were trying to set a world record for having the most people named Kyle in one place. Because Kyle Freeland was pitching that night. So that's where we're at with the Rockies, and it pisses me off that the Monforts are just like, oh, we'll just change the GM and the coach and the manager again and all of this. Like, I don't care anymore, and it makes me sad because Coors Field is so much fun to go to, and I've been to a lot of baseball games there, and I don't even want to watch baseball anymore because I know the season's going to start again in like April, and the Rockies will be out of it by the second week.
Yeah. The return on investment for a market like LA market is easy to spend money, paid buckets of money for Ohtani and made it back in global marketing, and the same thing happened with George Steinbrenner Yankees. Yeah, but the thing is, the team gets share revenue, so they get the money the Dodgers make gets sent out to the teams, so they can use that money, and it's not like they need to use their own money. The problem is these guys are greedy, and they just don't want to spend the money. Now I will say, because baseball doesn't have a salary cap. Check me on that, Buck.
I don't know.
The contracts are wild. Like, obviously, Ohtani
insane.
$700 million, for 20 years. It's crazy. But you can still spend money.
I agree with this too. The modern owner is not concerned with the on-the-field product. No, they're not. They're greedy. They just want to make as much money as they can. And just for the record, because I left this part out, the Diamondbacks finished 4th in the NL West this year. They were 13 games back of the Dodgers. Again, the Rockies were 50.
And Buck will tell you.
I get really angry about the Rockies. I get really angry.
No problem. And Buck will tell you, Diamondbacks are not that good. So let's talk about the playoffs real quick, because I didn't know we were going to.
For the record, won 37 more games than the Rockies.
I didn't know we were going to talk about the Rockies in SDV Talk.
I'm sorry.
You're good. It's great. Love it.
My anger for the Rockies does not fit the vibe of SDV Talk. I'm sorry.
We'll start in the AL right now. The series tied between Detroit and Seattle. Seattle's been a really good team this year. A lot of young talent. And they have one of the catchers that broke records for home runs and things like that. I think he had 60. Really well there. But Detroit and Seattle are tied right now. Toronto is 2-0 on the Yankees. Just are beating them.
Actually, Seattle's up 2-1 in that series.
Oh, okay. I must be. Okay, so now they're up 2-1. Okay, so Seattle's looking real good. Toronto is up 2-0 on the Yankees, unless they're playing again tonight.
They are playing right now. It's top of the 8th, 9-6 Yankees.
Ooh, okay, so Yankees might get a win here.
The Yankees might avoid being swept. Because I think everybody thought after those first 2 games that the Yankees might get swept.
Yeah, which would have been crazy because they, but Toronto's a good team.
My Rockies therapy talk, exactly.
Milwaukee's leading 2-0 against the Cubs, and they smashed the Cubs last night in a really good, entertaining game. Or they didn't really smash them, but it was a really entertaining game. And then the Dodgers are up 2-0 on the Phillies. Shout out to my Dodgers. Almost let the game get away from them last night. Damn near giving me a heart attack. But they were able to hold on, and they're going home now to close it out. If they're able to close it out at home, they're going to get some time off because hopefully Chicago comes back, wins a couple games, and they'll be able to rest. But, we'll see what happens. But the pitching for the starting pitch, which was the opposite last year, starting pitching for Dodgers have looked really well. It's the bullpen that's absolutely atrocious. They made Roki Asaki. Been bringing him in as a closer. He was the high-priced, or one of the sought-off free agents of the year. The Padres wanted him. He ended up coming to the Dodgers. He pitched a game where he actually got just destroyed, and he was crying, and people were making fun of him. Oh, da, da, da. And now he's kind of solidified himself as the closer for the playoffs. Even though he could be a starting pitcher, but if you can help win the Dodgers as a rookie to the World Series as a closer, and when he goes out there, he's throwing 100 miles an hour, a nasty splitter, fastball. I mean, maybe you don't want to be the closer for the rest of your life, but if you can help a team win the World Series, I mean that's going to be great for him. So I think the playoffs have been really fun. We're obviously, I mean, talk about parity. I mean, even though a lot of these teams do spend money, I mean, Seattle, Detroit, the Cubs, these are, some of these are not, even though they're big cities, they're not the big markets like the Yankees, the Dodgers, and things like that. But you see a lot of people hoping that it's like Seattle and Milwaukee in the World Series, or like Toronto and Philly, like someone who's not known. I don't hope that. I hope the Dodgers get all the way there.
I know you don't hope that. I will say I hope that it's not the Yankees. I would love for it to not be the Dodgers, just because I don't like it being the same all the time. Other teams should step up. Let's see what we got here. Jeremy saying Cal Raleigh, I believe is his name. He's one of the best players they've had since.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh. Yeah, he's a catcher.
Mm-hmm. I think the Brewers are the only ones who could stop the Dodgers in the NL.
They look good against Chicago.
And D Weezy saying the age of being a career closer is gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, because you don't have like the Mariano Rivera players anymore. The guys that were just closers. The Dodgers are implementing this where they have it's funny because last year their starting pitcher was destroyed. They only had 3 starting pitchers, rest with bullpen. This year we have all our starting pitchers. Our bullpen sucks, so they've moved starting pitchers into the bullpen to pit, like Kershaw, Gladstone, Roki Asaki. There's some other people in there because the bullpen's been so bad. So it's kind of crazy how they've kind of switched it up. Trevor Hoffman from San Diego. Yep, I remember him. They just don't have those closers anymore. So Dodgers employing a different kind of strategy for this year, and we'll see how it goes. But I mean, the lineup has just been killing it. If it's not Ohtani or Mookie, it's the Hernandez brothers. Yeah, it's so up and down. but the putting those starters in the bullpen has helped calm it down. Will Ohtani get used as a closer? No, he's a starter. That outside of those 3 runs he gave up, he pitched a masterful game. And to think that this guy was an NL MVP last year, it was funny. They brought this up on the broadcast because he was going against somebody. They go, yeah, this guy throws 100 miles an hour. He goes, it's kind of weird that he can throw 100 miles an hour, and the guy he's throwing the ball against, Ohtani, can also throw the ball 100 miles an hour. You're like, you don't ever see that. I don't think we'll see him as a closer unless it's kind of like what happened in the baseball world championships, where it's like you got to get like 2 outs and or 3 outs in the World Series to win it, then I think you bring Otani in. Because it's hard. I think it's hard. Think about that, Adelia. Guy goes and pitches a game, and he has to hit at the top of the lineup.
So
WBC.
obviously WC.
Yeah. So I think unless we see that kind of situation, I don't think we see him as a closer. I think Roki right now is doing well. It's getting the bridge from Roki from the starter to Roki is where we're at. And we've been seeing our starters go longer, which is not usually Dave Roberts' things. He usually likes to get them out by the fifth or sixth, and then have the bullpen take over. But he's been having to go 7, 6.5. So we'll kind of see what happens from this point on. But they have a chance to close it out tomorrow, which I really hope to do so they can get some rest. You know what? We started this SDV talk at like 45, or it might have been 50, and all of a sudden it turned into 20 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It was great. I loved it.
Let's end SDV talk.
Yeah.
Just for my closing of the show and putting in chapters in YouTube Studio.
There we go. Adelia.
Yeah.
Where can all the people find all of our links to all our shows and all of our information?
The easiest place to do that is letsgetreadynetwork.com. We got to get Suge up on the website as part of the crew on the About Us page. But you can find our Ko-fi page, our Patreon page. You can buy us coffee. You can Cash App, Venmo, all those good things on letsgetreadynetwork.com. We appreciate all the support everyone gives us. And if you're interested, just hang out in our Discord. There's a link to the Discord in the description of the episode if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Twitch, it's !Discord. Had some new people join the Discord this week, and that was awesome. So we'd love for more people to join the Discord. And subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. All those things really help us out. So thank you. Leave a comment. That also helps. Not just in the chat, but like when the video is over and the comments open. Leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment. Tell me how bad I am at saying people's name, or how happy you are to have Adelia back on. Just leave a comment. We really, really appreciate it. It helps us with the algorithm. Next week's show, but after that, we will have a couple of weeks off because we're having a LGR wedding, technically.
Yep.
And
we'll be here the next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks? Okay, I don't know.
Next 2 weeks, yeah. And then the week of the 27th, Monday the 27th, there will be no live programming on either this channel, Good Friends Better Rivals, or the post-credits channel. There might be some pre-recorded stuff that goes up, but no live shows on the channel that week. And then the week after, I will also be gone, so I don't know what you're going to do about the show that week. But, yeah.
Might take a couple weeks off. Never know.
Might take a couple weeks off.
It's okay, but
we'll
sure...
be here the next 2 weeks.
Yes, so make sure to join us next week. We really appreciate everybody stopping in. DWZ, Buck, Jeremy, Rodney, everybody that popped in. Appreciate everybody. If you were watching and just didn't want to comment, we understand. But you can interact with us. It's all good. Hope you have a wonderful night. Be safe, and we will talk to you later.